Hi, it's Rob from the Bob Sphere and 1st May, so April wrap up. Okay, so April, well, it started out really well. Then book wise, I didn't have a ton. And then somewhere around the 15th, I don't know, it's just like I read a ton of great books one after the other. So yeah, it was a very good reading month. I read 19 books. Lots of them were digital because they were from the Man Booker. Some publishers were very kind and they said yes to my requests basically. So I'm not going to put those down there. You can see those in the blog. See that? Plus, I'm too lazy to put images of the digital ones. So, physical books. Here we go. Okay, this is by a new imprint. They're called Ration Books. There are three of them. They're all these tiny little ones. It's by Ben Meyer's wife, Adele Stipe, if I'm pronouncing her surname properly. I got the Ben Meyers one because shipping from the UK to Malta is a little bit expensive. I wanted this because I do like Ben Meyers. And this We'll Meet Again, and it consists of some reflections done over the pandemic. If you're a fan of Ben Meyers, yeah, do check it out. It's a cute book. Another one, I ordered a book from Galley Beggar Press, and this came with it. It's a ghost story. I didn't like it. I'm sorry. Oh well. Felt a bit antiquated and boring. Okay, now the good stuff. I'm not going in order because there were a lot of good ones this month. Okay, so The Housekeeper and the Professor by Yoko Agawa. How should I say this? Okay, I look for optimistic books, but generally I end up hating them because they become too schmaltzy or they're melodramatic. This is a good one. It's kind of along the same lines of Leonard the Hungry Paul in the sense that it's an optimistic book, but it's done tastefully. So here's a professor who has an 80-minute memory, and he has a housekeeper to look after him. And they bond, they share some experiences. It goes a little bit wonky, not writing wise, obviously, the plot. Then it picks up. It's a heartwarming tale. It's very sweet. Yeah, it's a good read. It's a good read. Now this is brilliant. I love this one. It's my kind of book. Okay, so actual whole music by Hayden Middleton. Where to start? Okay, it's about this person who travels around an island, and then they find one and live there, but everyone abandons him due to an event. And then it's about him trying to adapt to a situation. But it's not really about that. For me, this was a book about the philosophy of language, about language acquisition, how language affects people, and it's about art and music and how those work into languages, as those are different languages themselves. It's a deceptively simple book. Let's say each chapter is like a page and a half, but there's a ton of meaning here. So don't go into it lightly, but it won't frazzle your brain or anything like that. It'll make you think. This is another great one, another 10 out of 10. Okay, The Sound Mirror by Heidi James. Oh boy, why didn't I read this sooner? Anyway, it's about three narratives, and they're all interconnected. And it's about how women suffer in society due to the patriarchy, how there are different attitudes towards women, and although the three narratives take place in different timelines, attitudes still stay the same. Sometimes they improve, but they don't. It's a powerful novel. Really readable. Fantastic. Big 10 out of 10. And another great one. Yeah. This one's absorbed by Kylie Whitehead. This is off a new press called New Ruins. It's a collaboration between the small presses Dead Ink and Influx Books. This is their first offering, and I tell you, if they keep on getting books like this, they're going to be a big press soon. I'll tell you this. I'm really looking forward to the next releases. Anyway, what's this about? Okay, this is about a woman who suffers from anxiety. Sorry. She's always scared that her boyfriend is going to leave her. Then on a New Year's Eve party, She sleeps with him, they have sex, and she absorbs him completely, literally, goes inside. Then the book is about modern day relationships. It's told through the sardonic eye, kind of like Ottessa Moshfegh. This is better though. I really liked it. There's some elements of body horror. Not scary, it's creepy. Very, very enjoyable book. Highly recommended. Okay, now this one was a bit of a disappointment. I want to read her novel, though. I've got her novel. So this is finished by Anna Vaught. These are just short stories. You know, me and short stories, we don't get along. So these are short stories about food. Can't say I was too keen. I like the writing. That's why I'm really eager to check out her book, Saving Lucia, whenever that happens. Because now my TBRs, I got a bit loosey-goosey with book buying. But anyway. Not great, not brilliant. But I won't say it sucks or anything like that. Again, the writing's really good. Just wanted more. I wanted more. Okay, now this is a return to my mother tongue, which is Maltese. I haven't read books in Maltese for a very long time. Well, I kind of avoided it, not because of the language, because I didn't want to hurt people's feelings if I do read a book that I don't like. I mean, if I don't like it, I'm going to say it. I have no, I don't hold back. When I was a music journalist, I kind of made a few enemies by voicing my opinions. But anyways, let's leave that. So this one was good though. This was a good return. I needed something like this. This is a plot-based novel. I'm not going to go into much detail because there'll be a little bit more about this later. Anyway, it's an adventure story, you can say, where a boy discovers his past through a strange character in a photograph. And then you've got 7 decades. It's a 7 decades time span. It's good. It's good. It's going to be translated into English apparently, so that's a good sign. If this goes on the foreign market, it could reach I could see a certain audience liking this. If you like plot-heavy books, it's for you. Minor Detail. This was one of the International Booker novels. Pity didn't make the shortlist because I thought it was really good. Okay, it's about it's a book in 2 halves. The first half consists of a woman who is accepted in a camp and then she's beaten and raped. We jump to the present, and a journalist, I think she's a journalist, finds out about this detail and she tries to research it. And then you've got a thing about feminism and history and attitudes. Oh, it's really good for its size. It's powerful, and it's by the mighty Fitzcarraldo, who never get it wrong. Never. Love Stories for Hectic People. It's by Reflex Press. Reflex Press mostly deal with flash fiction. So these are just 1-page stories. It's okay. Pass by really quickly. It's good. It's good. Can't complain. If you want a quick read, this is your thing. It says like it does on the tin. Okay, Jan Martel, 101 Letters to a Prime Minister. I am a completist. So this is basically, I've read everything by Jan Martel now. This was used. It's out of, well, obviously if it's used, it's out of print. But I got it from AB Books at a very good price. So if you want to seek it out, go ahead. You know, it won't be a life mission. So what happened was that Jan Martel was discovering that the culture, well, he was frustrated with the state of the arts in Canada. So he decided to send a book every few weeks to the Prime Minister of the time, Stephen Harper, with a covering letter. Now, he basically ignored all those books. He sent exactly 101. But his loss, because we've got a very good book list here. I'll tell you, you want to read all the books that he mentions. Some are classics, some are modern, some are, there's a poetry, there's a play or two. It's a good mix, and obviously there's Jan Martel's writing, so there's a lot of good letters here. Yeah, there's some from his friends. There's one from his dad as well. It's really good. It's a good mix. Okay, another Booker one. This is Summer Brother. Didn't make the short list by, I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I don't know if it's Yap because in Maltese the J has a Y sound, or if it's Jap like that's pronounced in English. So it could be Yap or Jap. Robin, Dutch. Oh, by the way, I should mention the translator, should I? Okay, so hold on. I think that's only fair. So this is translated by Stephen Snyder. This is translated by Elizabeth Jacquet. And this is translated by David, I think it's Doherty or Doherty. Someone can correct me there. It's a story about brother love. It's a bit of a squirmy book, but it's good. It's really readable. The translation feels like the person wrote it in English. I mean, not the translator, the author wrote it in English. What am I saying? Anyway, so what's it about? It's a boy with a kind of neglectful father who live in a trailer park. And because of the money, because the father will get a good fee, good stipend, they decide to take the narrator's autistic brother for a summer. And this leads to a lot of complications. Not because of the boy's autism, because of the attitude of the father. In the end, it works as a coming-of-age story, and it's done well. It's done really well. It's sort of a coming-of-age story with a difference. I won't call it a light read, but it is a, fast-paced. And there's a lot of food for thought. Trigger warning though, there's an animal death. Okay, this could be the book of the month, even though there are a lot. I really enjoyed this. So this is When We Cease to Understand the World by Benjamin Labatut and translated by Adrian Nathan West. It's amazing. It crosses the boundaries of fiction. I'm trying to think about it. Okay, so what it does is it's very much like Sebald. He does the same thing. So it takes a premise and stays on that topic and then goes off into different branches. So for example, the first chapter is about cyanide. Then it goes into blue. No, first it's about the color of Prussian blue. Then it goes into cyanide. Then it goes into science. Then there are other chapters which serve as biographies of mathematicians and scientists. And then you think, okay, why is there all this trivia and all this these biographies and things like that? But then when you come to the end of the book, it all makes sense. This book is about how science tries to understand nature but ends up destroying the world in the process. Yeah, it sounds dramatic, but you have to read it to understand it. I think it qualifies as fiction. For me, it doesn't, with the exception of the last bit. And there's a fictional retelling of Schrödinger and his love affair. But still, you have to read this. Please read it. And it's readable. No problem about that. Really, really good. Okay, and here are the last three. So there are individual videos about autumn and winter. Tomorrow I'll do mine on spring because I don't want to chuck a lot of videos on you today. They're great, but I'm not going to go into detail about them. They're a reread because at the moment I am reading Summer. Then there'll be an individual video review, blog post review, and then I'll be doing a review of all 4 books. Then the quartet's gone. Okay, what's next? Okay, I'm at the end of this. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I'll finish it today, which means I have to start Malta month. So for the month of May, I will be reading mostly Maltese literature. I'm saying mostly because I have got a lot of review copies. So I'm going to read one book in Maltese and then one review copy and alternate between those. I have to get that pile down because I have a couple of more arcs on the way and some really juicy ones, but we'll find that out later. So there's this. I'll be reading this. I'll go into more detail in the blog though. At the moment, it means the snakes have become poisonous again. And I'll be reading this. And then Maltese book, review copy, Maltese book review copy, and we'll just keep on doing that until the month is over. Hopefully, some Woman Prize shortlists if I finish my Maltese books on time, and into the TBR pile, which I don't think. I mean, that's the TBR pile as well, but not the immediate one that's near my bed. So, this was a long video. I hope I didn't bore you. But anyway, I hope you had a good reading month. See you for tomorrow. There'll be the spring review, and maybe I'll get in some individual reviews of the Women's Prize shortlist. That will encourage me to finish it, because I've only read 2 of them. So I hope you read some good books. Bye.